We're talking about rewriting your future. Are you living the life you want, or are you letting life just happen to you? Hey, stick around. We're going to want to show you how you can take control. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab, where we don't just talk about change. Oh, no. Nope. We make it happen. Yeah, I'm your host. I'm Keith Bilous, and I've got a quick reminder for you. This is a explicit show. Oh, yeah. So if you got the little kids nearby, now's the time to put the headphones on. Yep, or walk them out of the room, or turn the volume. So listen, today's a big one, folks. We are talking about how to rewrite your future. Yeah, taking back control, crushing those old limits and creating the life you really want. Taking back control, crushing those old limits and creating the life you really want, because I know you do. Today is just not another episode. No, not at all. We are going to dive deep today, learning the exact tools and techniques you need to reshape your life. Yeah. And we've got some unpredictable, true story, and provocative topics lined up to keep it real. We're talking about the Business Athlete Manifesto. We leaned into it yesterday. We're going to keep leaning into it today.
Everybody knows that the show, The Loop, it's actually that we reference this as the 24-hour loop, because a day is just 24 hours, and we've been given the ability and the opportunity to maximize that loop.
Start right. What are you waiting for? So you see, rewriting your future, Business Athlete Nation, is all about making intentional decisions every day that push you toward the life that you action want. If you don't have action, you got nothing. If you got action, you're lazy. If you got action, you're dead. If you got no action, you're just reacting. You gotta move. Moving creates momentum. Get up right now, damn it. Take the first step, even if you don't see the whole path.
Who you want to be? You want to be in the same spot a year from now?
Yes.
You want to be closer to your goal or at your goal?
Yes.
And a lot of times when I think a year from now, like, I can't be at the same spot. I can't be putting this work in to not get better.
Why is it that everybody gets all fucking bent out of shape about 1 hour changing once a year? Holy Christ. You know, the worst part about this is a crazy thing. When we lose an hour of sleep, this is how fragile the general public has become.
The past is a memory and the present is a gift.
Marty, you don't need to prepare to talk. This is what we do.
No, you're right.
Part of our audience. Look at this. Wow.
I acknowledge it.
If you got the balls to throw the hatchet, don't fucking apologize.
Nation, there is no excuse not to get a lift in. And what Johnny always said is not what you say, it's what you do.
All the dads are going to hate because I'm going to be working out with my kids all the time. I wait.
It's everyone's responsibility to just make it happen.
You can find a way to train with your kid. That same daughter I was talking about 3 years later, she would come to me in a group setting, and I would always hear her come to me and say, "Daddy, they're throwing up again." So she was exposed to the type of work where people are vomiting. And she just, in her mind, that's the way you work out. She became a savage.
When you picture yourself at a future date, you're not imagining what can happen, you're focusing on what already happened. Think about that. Your goals become clear, your actions become more intentional, and you create momentum without the anxiety of thinking about trying to create it. Instead of worrying about the steps ahead, you're living in the results. Work backwards from your vision. Pretend it's a future date. Think about it. Don't look towards it, look back from it. You'll be surprised at what you can achieve. You are joining the biggest fucking morning show on the planet. We get up every single day to help people like you and help people who are not hit the snooze button.
I discovered weightlifting. It was the first thing I felt I was actually good at, which for me, that was a first.
Never say a point without a story or a story without a point.
Set a reminder on your iPhone, your Droid, Apple Watch, whatever you have. Every 30, 45 minutes, get up, stretch, take a quick walk. Get your body moving so you're not sitting in that slouch position for 8 hours straight. As we get older, you have to do them even more if you want to stay on point and keep your posture on point. That's the fitness tip for today.
Don't hit the snooze button. Get freaking going. Create movement to create momentum.
Either you own your stories or your stories own you. Your story sharpens as you share it.
The biggest traumas in our lives are actually blessings when we can look at things from the other side.
It's over the day you die. That's it. Until then, you always have an opportunity. The reason why change feels so hard is that it's not logical, it's biological. The last thing to change are your feelings, meaning if you wait to feel a certain way before you act, you're doomed, because it's actually the opposite.
Rewriting your future is about action and intentionality.
If you want to capitalize on luck, you've got to get prepared and stay there.
Of
course, none of us are completely ever self-made, right? We rely on each other, and if we're stuck, if we need something to help propel us into the next step, it can really help to have a friend, a mentor, a coach, someone like that shows just a little bit of belief in you and shows you some real genuine encouragement. Self-esteem is your relationship with yourself. That next little step, we accomplished thing. Now we got a little bit of belief in ourselves. All of a sudden we look back after a month and we're like, yeah, I have some evidence now.
Luck is going to favor the person who's putting the work in. So you putting the work in, you're getting the small wins. The big one is coming. The most successful people do a lot of boring shit to get to the big result.
Accountability is the most difficult thing for us as human beings to consistently do day in and day out.
If we're down in a hole and we're not feeling like we can do anything for ourselves, that one thing that you pick doing something for somebody else. There's an idea in social psychology that we're not only responsible for ourselves, but everyone around us.
What if I told you that you are not the story that you've been telling yourself? Here's the thing. We don't actually know ourselves, and we think we do. And that's all thanks to neuroscience. AI actually cuts through that bias that's actually existing in your brain. It helps you see your story for the reality that it is, not the limited version that your brain is trying to serve you up. If you've ever doubted that you have a story or felt like you're not interesting enough, that's not reality. It's your brain's perception, and AI can help you uncover the real you.
If people would recognize that the journey is really, if you can enjoy the journey to what you're doing, it's then when you get there, it is so much more spectacular. At 315 pounds, I could basically jump my big ass up onto a inch box. That's a massive,
That's impressive,
standing still, no approach, no one-step lead in, just straight boom, explosion. There's so much technique in that shit, it'll blow your mind. I cleaned 100 kilos, 20 pounds, 100 reps, actually 101, in one set with no break. The skill is like the goddamn roof of the house. Start looking at the foundation. Is the foundation strong? Without this, you ain't got shit.
The only morning show to help you guys get out of bed and achieve your big, audacious goals. True leadership isn't about telling people what to do. Not at all. It's about empowering them to take ownership of the roles that they have.
I don't need to be empowered. I'm empowered. I need access and opportunity.
What I'm looking for with the clients is I'm looking for someone who wants to evolve, wants to develop, and they need the structure, they need the guidance. All you got to just follow the system. And if it doesn't work, you didn't fail, the system does. The system did, and we'll alter the system.
I'm thinking in my head that there's a lot of people out there that don't like that word empowered, because I'm already fucking empowered.
Fuck off. I'm empowered. I don't have access and opportunity because equity doesn't exist in this situation. You have everything you need except for potentially a clear path to get to where you want to go.
But true leadership is about showing support even when the shit gets tough, when the road gets tough, when you look out there, there's just nowhere to go. That's being a true leader.
When you're willing to do the shit that most people won't do, and you're the first one to do it when the chips are down, this is what the team looks at this and goes, okay, he doesn't have to do shit, but he's getting it done. Yes. When it's dark, when it's cold, when it feels like you're putting in a lot of work and there's not a lot of return, that's when you need that guy in there just busting it up, clearing out the way, saying, come on, the light is behind, just get behind me because we're headed towards the light.
Nothing more inspiring than to see someone taking in the chaos and nothing but harmony coming out on the other side. Encouragement in the word helps them deal with their fears. It gives them the courage to go through what was perceived as boundaries. We ended up with encouragement and empowerment and these ideas of the Business Athlete Manifesto.